Welcome everyone. This is Big Wins in 30 Mins, Mission Control for Course Quality. We've set this webinar up with a shorter format than some of our other events you may be familiar with, in the hopes to meet busy teams, leaders, and educators where they are. Limited time need not be a barrier to unlocking big wins in Canvas, so we hope you walk away today inspired and equipped to scale your course quality efforts in no time. Very briefly, a reminder that, as always, we are recording today's webinar, and you'll receive a link to the recording sometime tomorrow via email. You can feel free to use the chat feature throughout the webinar. Just make sure that your dropdown is set to everyone so that we can all see your messages. And please be sure to submit questions through the Q&A panel that our team is keeping track of, and that way we can make sure every question gets answered. We will also try to save a few for the end and answer them live after we are finished with our presentation. We hope you have time at the end for that. If this is your first time joining our fun, let me tell you a little bit more about Cidi Labs. Cidi Labs was founded out of a partnership with Utah State University, where Kenneth Larson, our co-founder, was working as an instructional designer. He was given permission to hack Canvas and start making the first iteration of what would later become Design Plus. Over the years, our team has grown with educators and instructional designers who are drawn to improving the learning experience for everyone. We have 6 products for Canvas that help elevate course design, simplify accessibility, and scale best practices. All these tools have been developed through partnerships with universities and in partnership with our customers. And now I will turn it over to today's presenters.
Thank you, Alex. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to be role-playing a real-world scenario so that you can really envision this particular big win that we're going to be focused on. Today's cast of characters include myself, Jennifer Malkovich, and I'll be playing the role of instructional design team leader.
And I'm Melissa, and I'll be playing an instructional designer working with the fine arts department.
I'm Stephanie, and I will be playing the accessibility coordinator.
And I'm Ethan, playing Mr. D, the esteemed faculty member. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks, team. We are so excited to show you our fictitious but hopefully very relatable scenario where we are using the ReadyGO tool from Cidi Labs as the mission control for our course quality initiative. Prior to having ReadyGO, we were using convoluted spreadsheets that were really hard to keep updated and doing all our communication and email, just hoping that the right people were getting the right information at the right time. But as you know, hope is not a strategy, right? So ReadyGO is a course lifecycle management system that helps scale best practices and streamline all the work our team does to develop, deliver, and continuously improve our Canvas courses. So just to set the stage for our scenario today, last year we embarked on a big, and part of our process is to conduct a quality review department by department. And currently we're focused on our fine arts courses, hence why we have our fine arts instructional designer and one of our esteemed fine arts faculty members here. Who's teaching a very exciting new course we'll show you in a bit. And we're introducing the faculty to our new quality standards and just getting them involved in bringing their courses up to these important new standards. So as the instructional design team lead, I'm going to start by showing you how I set up ReadyGO to really meet our specific needs and processes. So when I pull up the ReadyGO tool, you will see that I am brought to a dashboard, which really gives me a bird's eye view of all of the things that I'm keeping track of for our courses. And we'll dive some more into reports later. For now, I'm going to spend my time in this manage area where I can really configure ReadyGO to meet our needs. So we've recently decided as part of our quality review process to include accessibility, and that's why Stephanie's here. And I need to make a few adjustments to really incorporate accessibility into our overall quality process. So first, I'm going to show you that I'm in the batches area, and I've set up a batch that contains all of the fine arts courses that we're doing this quality review for. Batches are the way in ReadyGo that we organize courses. It is the way that we assign a specific group of people to be able to see these courses. So you can see here the quality review team is assigned to these courses. So the first thing that I'm going to do is add Mr. D's exciting new course that he is teaching by manually typing in the course code, the LMS course ID, so that we can see his course, which is the art of pickleball, a very important new offering at our institution. So now that we've added that, I am going to add Stephanie to the quality review team by going over to the teams area. And again, this is how you set up groups of people who you want to assign to specific batches of courses. So I'll go into the ReadyGo team, and I'm going to add Stephanie so that she can now access these teams. I can set her permissions. If perhaps she wasn't going to be interacting with the courses, I could make her access read-only. But in this case, we definitely want Stephanie to be able to interact with the courses. Okay, so now I've added Stephanie to our quality review team, which is working on those courses. And now I need to add our accessibility criteria to our quality rubric. So what is so great about ReadyGo is that I have this tool called checklists where I can effectively translate our quality rubric into a set of criteria that I can use to communicate to everybody who's working on these courses. So when we look at a particular checklist, we can see there are a number of, they're called tasks, but effectively criteria in here where we can really provide a lot of information. Now, you can see our entire quality rubric here, but I'm going to add one new one to really incorporate, again, that addition of accessibility into our quality process. So, of course, we want people to be following the WCAG 2.2 standards. So here you can see I can paste in a description of this criterion. And what's great is I could even link to the standards here. So I could just pop a link with this WYSIWYG editor. And again, add that to our overall checklist. And then you can see it here at the bottom. When I publish these changes, that means that everyone who has access to this checklist in their course, which we'll see in a few moments, now sees the updated version of the checklist. Now I'm going to show you yet another area that we've been able to customize for our quality review process. So the alerts in ReadyGo allow us to be made proactively aware of different conditions, if you will, in our courses that are important for us to be alerted to. So for example, if a course doesn't have a syllabus, or perhaps we're doing a big push to use Design Plus, our course design tool, if it's not used, we want to be aware of that. And you can see some of these other important alerts here. We've also added to custom alerts. You can add your own alerts here based on both Canvas data as well as Cidi Labs tool data. So we happen to license the Cidi Labs accessibility checker tool called You Do It. And we have added a custom alert here to notify us when a course's accessibility score is below 75%. And you'll see why in a moment when Melissa starts working with the courses. Lastly, I'm going to go to this status area to add a new status to track the accessibility review that Stephanie is going to be doing on all of our courses here. And so that when a course is in that status, we can effectively be aware of that and track it in our reports. So here I've added that status, and you can see this was all custom designed to sort of match our workflow. And you can imagine that yours might look a little different, but the point is that it's all customizable. Okay, so now that I have given the right people the right access to the right set of courses that we're currently focused on, I've updated the checklist to match all of our quality criteria. And I've customized the alerts and the statuses to include our accessibility work. I'm going to pass it over to Melissa, who will show you how she uses ReadyGo as an instructional designer that's participating in our quality initiative.
All right, so I'm excited to start working on this initiative, and I'm going to head to the courses area, which is where I can view data and perform actions on the courses that I'm monitoring. Right now, I can see all of the courses that I'm working with, but I'm going to filter down to the fine arts batch that Jennifer created so I can focus on those courses for now. And right now I'm looking at the default view, this table full of columns of data, and I've already got a lot of great data at my fingertips. I can see the status that has been set for these courses. Jennifer set up those alerts and I can see them here. You can see that accessibility and the uncluttered files one. I can even select alerts and head to those areas of the course to go take a look. I can also see that these courses have been working through the accessibility checklist, and I can kind of preview how much has been done. Something else I want to highlight is that I can see that the instructor tool is enabled for all of the courses in this batch, which is great because, as you'll see in a few minutes with Mr. D, this allows our instructors to use some of ReadyGo's same metrics and features directly from Canvas. So this default view is already really helpful. This is an example of a quick view, which is a set of pre-configured columns with or without filters that you can save and apply to any combination of courses. So at this point, I'm going to switch to my course quality quick view, which does have some of the same data, but I've also added these columns that are a little more relevant to my work on the course quality audit. So I can see all of the different counts of different types of Canvas content. I can see whether the courses have a syllabus. For homepage, we asked all of our instructors to set up a dedicated page as their homepage. So I should be seeing wiki. If I'm not seeing that, it means that they haven't created that page yet. Well, it's a good thing that we have a super easy to use homepage template that our instructors can customize in about 2 minutes. So now I'm ready to add that new checklist to all of the courses. So I'm going to select them all with this checkbox here, then go into bulk actions and assign the quality review checklist. And that will get added right here in the checklists column once it queues up. And then I also want to let the instructors know that I've added it. So I'm going to go back into bulk actions, message instructors. And I can just type a little email here that will go to everyone's institutional email, and they'll just get that message letting them know about the checklist. Okay, something else I want to do while I'm working with this quick view. Our institution just licensed TidyUp, which you may remember is a Cidi Labs tool that helps us clean up course clutter and organize our Canvas files and content better. So I want to actually add some other columns to this quick view so I can see what the work lies ahead for TidyUp. So I'm going to go into Manage Columns and go to Column Visibility to get a list of all of the data points that I could include in this quick view. In the TidyUp column category, I have lots of options, but for now, I'll just do some counts of unused content and files. Before I select Apply, I'm actually going to change the column order. I'm going to drag these new columns up higher so I don't have to scroll over to see them. I could also use this area to delete any columns I didn't want. So once that loads, you will see that some of our courses have quite a lot of unused files and content, and I could even sort by these columns to see which courses are going to need the most attention. So yeah, sure enough, that's quite a lot. So I've got my work cut out for me there. The last thing that I want to do is update this quick view. Now that I've added these new columns and changed some order, I'm being prompted up here with this unsaved changes. So I'm going to save this quick view and go ahead and update the one that I'm already working with. That way, anyone at my institution who's using the course quality audit quick view will now get these new columns applied to their data, their courses. Okay, so I have plenty of work to do on cleaning up these courses and working through this checklist with our instructors. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Mr. D so that you can see how that ReadyGO instructor tool works for our instructors.
Mr. D, you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can.
Well, I'm here in my Canvas working. I got an email about a quality checklist I needed to look through. This is a great looking template that they've set up for me. So I'll just get to work right away, start editing on that. Thank goodness they've got some instructions here for me. Let's see. Complete the template. Okay, there's a little button in the bottom right. I'll go ahead and open that up. So I got a few things to do here on this template. As if I'm not busy enough already. I mean, right? Oh, nice. They've got the standards here already. Perfect. It's aligned to the standards. Input, of course, description. Okay, I can just easily paste that from my syllabus right there. And we'll go ahead and got that. All right. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I don't want to type that out myself. Go ahead and accept. Perfect. All right, cruising right along here. My office hours. Yeah. My office hours. Let's see, Monday and Thursday, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock a.m. And add that in. Perfect. Okay. I think that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this complete. Design Plus makes this really easy. I've loved using this. It's just saves me so much time. All right. Save that. Now I need to go and report this to the designer in ReadyGo, wherever that is. Yes. Okay. ReadyGo instructor. I'll go ahead and open this up. This shows me all of my to-do list. It's really helpful to have it all in one place. I'll go ahead and open this new quality review checklist and the home page. Yep, I just did that. The homepage, use news, university. Yes. Yep, good. All right, we're good to go there. And I really liked that template. I'm going to go ahead and ask Melissa, are there more templates like this one I can and send? And it's just so handy, I can just easily message her from right here. All right. Got more work cut out for me, but I'm going to check on my accessibility tasks. And tidy up. They did a training on that. It was really easy. I hope they're all this easy. I already scanned through and cleaned up all the files in the course, so we are good to rock and roll there. Awesome. Well, I'm on my way. I'm a busy guy. I've got a lot of responsibilities here in the department, but excited to get back to work, so don't mind me. Oh, Stephanie.
Hey,
Hi.
yeah, here we go. All right. Well, I've been seeing instructors just like Mr. D get to work on their course accessibility. And I've been added to this course review process because accessibility is such an important part of quality, but more formalized now through ReadyGo, which is great. I'm on this batch of fine arts courses and looking at our course quality audit quick view since we are focused on that. I can at a glance kind of look through and see I've got a course that is ready for that accessibility review. Some of these others are still in progress, but I do have one that's ready. I'll come back for that in just a moment, but I actually want to get a better sense of where all of these courses are with their accessibility and see if there's a way that I can help provide resources. Much as Mr. D already loved the tidy up training that he got, I can be helpful where I can when I have the right data in front of me. So I'm actually going to switch over from the course quality quick view to one of my saved or favorited quick views that I've created that is an accessibility quick view. So when I select that, I'm still looking at the same batch of courses, but what's happening now is the data will switch over. I think it's mad at me because I need to refresh. There we go. And the data has changed associated with those courses based on what I'm trying to see. So in this accessibility quick view, I can see really quickly at a glance that these courses were recently scanned, which is helpful because it means that that data is probably pretty up to date. If not, I could use those bulk actions like Melissa was doing earlier, and I could select all, and I could choose to run a UDoIT scan on all of those courses, and then I would get the most up-to-date information if it wasn't already up to date. Inside this accessibility quick view, I've saved some other really important columns so I can have all the data in front of me. I can see the overall accessibility score. I can see kind of overall error count, suggestion counts, file issues, etc. I put my tidy up data in here as well, kind of generally speaking, same looking at the last scan date, unused content, all of that. Then I also added some really granular pieces of data for myself to look at, like knowing the count of a particular issue type. So I've got a lot of data at my fingertips here, which is really exciting. But what I am noticing as I'm kind of going through here is that some of the instructors have really taken some time to go through and clear some of their file issues. So if I look, I've got issues manually resolved, I've got issues fixed, and I can sort as we talked about before. Oh, I sorted one too many times. There we go. And I can see here the instructor in Introduction to Art History has fixed 76 issues. Now, their score is still at 72, so they might need a little bit more work. However, I'm really impressed with that initiative and then the work that they're doing. So I could actually choose to just send this instructor a quick message via chat and give them some kudos. So I could write to them here, keep up the great work on course accessibility. And that way they are encouraged and know that they can keep going. And I could just send them that message really easily. Now I'll notice that some of our courses have quite a few errors still left, and I might want to go through and select all of the courses that are above a certain threshold. I could also add a filter to find a particular threshold, but I'm just showing you that I could go through and select all of these, wherever that threshold is, let's say over 200 errors, and then I can go ahead and message those instructors directly, as you've already seen, and give them a link to our accessibility training and give them that extra support that they need in order to keep moving forward. So now I'm off though to do that final review or that accessibility review on the course, moving through our course quality initiative.
Awesome, Stephanie. Well, I'm going to briefly fast forward in our real world scenario here.
2 weeks later.
Okay, so I now, 2 weeks later, have a meeting with the dean, and I need to give her a progress update on our quality initiative. So let's take a look at some of the reports that I was able to easily pull from ReadyGO and put into this deck to show you to really demonstrate our progress for her. So first, I'm going to give the dean an overview of where our courses stand overall in terms of status. So here we can really see that luckily we've had a lot that are in the complete status. And as we just added your accessibility review, Stephanie, we can now see that you've got your work cut out for you. But essentially, this is a great way to see kind of where things stand overall. On the next report I pulled, it gives us a snapshot of all of the alerts. So remember, the alerts are that list of things that we want to be proactively notified about when certain conditions exist in our courses. So here we can kind of see that we have a lot of courses that aren't published yet, but that's okay because we don't want to publish them until they fully pass our quality review. But we've also got, some where we obviously need to do a little more cleanup work. So this is a great way to be aware of those things overall, again, at a bird's eye view. The next review, the next report, I'm really excited about. As Melissa mentioned, we recently licensed TidyUp, or our course cleanup tool. And this report is showing us through the fact that TidyUp scanned all of the courses in this initiative. And it is showing us the history over the last 90 days of how much unused content in files we have in our courses. So essentially how much clutter we have. So you can see a few peaks there where people were probably really working on building their courses and adding a bunch of things that weren't yet added to pages or modules or things like that. But what really gets me excited, because we know that there's still junk in those courses, right? Copying them over term after term. We did a workshop, a training for faculty at the beginning of October, and you can see there that dip. So at the end of the chart, so you can see that TidyUp is really working to help people remove all of that course clutter that we don't want in there. And lastly, this is my favorite report, and it really gives us the bird's eye view of our checklist. So remember, that checklist is essentially our quality rubric, and we can see at a glance for all of the courses that we assigned this checklist to, how are the courses measuring up on each criterion. So we can see that, you know, there a lot of things are getting checked off and passing, and some aren't. So we've still got our work cut out for us. But this is really, you know, giving her a great bird's eye view of the progress we've made and how our courses are stacking up against our quality rubric. So that kind of concludes our real world scenario. And we hope that it illustrated for you how ReadyGo can really put the data you need at your fingertips, support the collaboration that you do across all these stakeholders, including your most esteemed faculty members, and really scale your best practices along the way. But most importantly, perhaps see the progress and be able to demonstrate the progress that you're making in those course initiatives. And hopefully we've also shown you or helped you envision that these same benefits that we happen to apply to a course quality initiative could easily work for any of your course initiatives, whether it's building new courses or working on accessibility or prepping courses for a new term. ReadyGo can really serve as that mission control. And so if you're interested in seeing a real world scenario that puts ReadyGo to use in an effective way, check out this short video that is linked here to see how Mount San Antonio College significantly streamlined their RSI, or regular and substantive interaction review process. And it'll probably blow your mind. So I can see that we have one question in the Q&A. We have 1 minute left, and I'm just going to go ahead and answer it out loud. Someone asked if ReadyGo can work with outside accessibility products to be included in the workflow. Unfortunately, at this time, ReadyGo only works with Cidi Labs accessibility tool. You do it Advantage, but you know, if you do use that tool, you get all of the benefits of seeing that data right in ReadyGo, and of course, we think that that's the best way to go. At this time, I will wrap up our webinar by just thanking you all for your time and attention. We hope that today's session showed you how even small steps can create a big impact when it comes to course quality in Canvas. And if you would like to have a one-on-one demo, we would love to show it to you, ReadyGo to you, and dive in even deeper to your particular course initiatives and needs. Please go to cidilabs.com and schedule a demo. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.